is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Brian, you had 3 guys leave the game yesterday with injuries. What can you tell us about Malcolm Brown, Jerome Baker, and Jason McCourty?
So Jason and Malcolm, we expect both guys to go on IR for at least 3 weeks. And Bake, we think he's, that'll be a day-to-day. We'll see how that one goes. And
anything new on the Michael Dieter situation? How ready might he be to come back off IR?
He's actually, making a lot of progress. Don't expect him this week, but he's certainly making a lot of progress.
Thanks.
Tim Reynolds.
Brian, yesterday obviously was the 3rd time you guys have had to watch a last play field goal beat you.
Yep.
I'm sorry that this sounds kind of like a broken record, but just how much more can a team take with everything that's gone on, and to lose 6 in a row and 3 of them in that way? How concerned are you for the psyche and all that comes with that from this group?
I think it's a resilient group. I think, we talked about that today, and we've lost 3 games with a field goal at the end. And we talked about the margin for error the last couple of weeks, and really all year. We're really on the wrong side of that, and there's a myriad of reasons why. But when it comes down to a field goal at the end, there's 1-2 plays that could have turned it, could have been the difference. We understand that, and we have to make more plays throughout the game. So it doesn't get to that point. Or if it is, in that situation like it was yesterday, we have to do more, offensively, defensively in the kicking game to pull it out, which we haven't been able to do. It's been disappointing. But as far as the psyche of the team, look, I've said this all year. This is a resilient group. This isn't an effort issue. This isn't a desire issue. This is just in a situation right now where we're just not doing enough to pull these games out. And we'll continue to prepare the way we've prepared. We'll always look at different ways to do things. But we need to find different ways to help these guys finish these games out.
David Lang, WPLG.
Hey, Flo. I think we all appreciated yesterday that both you and Tua spoke about how you guys have had conversations to sort of deal with the outside noise, the trade rumors, the distractions. I was just curious, you talked about the psyche of the team. For a young quarterback like Tua, do you feel like in just 2 years he's been through almost an inordinate amount of distractions with all the things around him? And how do you keep him locked into where you want him to be given everything that's going on?
I think he's been locked in, and I think he's played well the last 2 weeks. Not perfect, but I think he's played well and moved the ball and giving us a chance to win the last couple of weeks. We haven't been able to pull it out, but I think his psyche, he's in a good frame of mind. Look, he's dealt with a lot the last couple years with the hip and obviously last year being a COVID season and not having normal training camp or OTAs, and then this season with another injury. So he's dealt with some adversity. He's overcome it. And I think he's doing a lot of good things and putting us in good positions.
David Furones, Sun Sentinel.
Hi, Flo. Will Fuller, where does he stand in his recovery as he's now eligible to be removed off IR if he's healthy? It's been the 3 weeks now.
Yeah, Will's also doing everything he can to get back as soon as he can. I don't think it'll be this week, but I think we're getting closer.
Okay. I also wanted to ask about Sheldrick Redwine. Reports out that the team picked him up. Obviously, now we know Jason McCourty said is going on IR. So what he can bring to the team.
I think a young player, young safety, was in Cleveland for a couple of years. Thought he had some. I think we had some love for him coming out, and I think he's got some ability. We'll get him here, kind of teach him the system, and try to get him going. Plays in the kicking game as well, so we'll see. You got to get him here and get him going.
Cam Wolf.
Flo, I know you've talked to us in the past about development of players being important to you. I'm curious now, I guess 12 full games for Tua. How would you evaluate the job maybe you guys have done as a staff helping him develop?
I think he's getting better. I think he's getting better every time he steps on the field. I think he's pushing the ball down the field more. I think he's making better decisions. I think he's making quicker decisions. I think he's doing a lot of things. Look, it's 12. It's a small sample size, but every time he steps out there, I think he's. I see progress. I saw that yesterday for sure. And I think one of the things, I think he showed some grit and some growth, dealing with some adversity, dealing with a couple interceptions, and then coming back and giving us an opportunity to win the game at the end. So he's a young player. Everyone develops at a little bit different pace, but I think he's doing a lot of good things.
You mentioned everybody develops at a different pace. When you have that quarterback position, obviously that gets a lot of eyeballs. How do you view maybe the timetable needed to evaluate whether this quarterback is developing how you want them to?
I don't know if I thought about it from that standpoint. Look, I think we've had close to, let's call it a year and a half with Tua, and it's been an unusual kind of year and a half for a number of reasons. He's coming off the hip. Now he's got dealt with another injury this season. But I would say the last two games, he's done a lot of good things. I think he's headed in the right direction. And, we're pleased with the development that he's shown over, these 18 months.
Omar Kelly.
Flo, I wanted to ask primarily about Will Fuller. I know he's got the hand injury, but there are players with injuries who are around the team or on the field or at practice. Why is it that we haven't seen Fuller, not just since the hand injury, but during OTAs, during training camp? Why has Will Fuller not been present? Why isn't he there watching?
He's been around. I know I see him every day in rehab. And, as far as getting out there and, being at practice, most of he does his work during practice. So that's kind of how, we have it set up for him. And really most of our guys for IR, I think they kind of work during meetings and practice.
Mark, Buffalo News.
Yes, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Last year, you probably talked about this with the Miami reporters, but last year you were number one on third down defense. Just, can you pinpoint or what have been some of the factors for the drop off on third downs defense?
Probably communication, overall execution, but I would start with communication and, not good enough in the fundamentals and technique standpoint from fundamentals and technique, and definitely something that we need to improve on. That down is a big down. From a momentum standpoint, getting off the field, getting the offense back on the field, getting the return units back on the field. And again, last year was last year, and this is a totally, different situation, totally different, year, opponents. So we got to improve in that area for sure.
Right. Thank you.
Go ahead, Mark.
And then, so just to, just looking at the Bills offense and where they stand right now, I mean, the addition of Sanders, do you see them maybe even being more balanced as a passing unit than last year? Or what do you think about his
certainly an explosive unit, already with Diggs and Beasley, Singletary, and you add Sanders. So it's definitely an explosive unit. They do a good job. They're well coached. And it's definitely a tough test.
Thank you.
Daniel, Miami Herald.
Hey, Brian, I had two separate questions for you. One, you guys released or waived Reed Senate to make room for Isaiah Ford. Do you expect Reed to return to the practice squad? And second, with Jerome missing most of the game, did Javon Holland handle the communication duties on defense?
No, we actually, Sam Agavon handled the communication from, Josh to the rest of the defense. What was your first question?
Reed, do you expect Reed to come back to the practice squad?
We'll see. You'll see if the waiver wire today, and see how that shakes out. But if so, yeah, we'd like to get him back.
Thank you,
Travis.
Hey, Coach, good afternoon. You had mentioned Tua being aggressive and pushing the ball down the field. I just kind of wanted to get a coaching philosophical, coaching point from you here with regards to being aggressive versus kind of calibrating when to kind of pull that thing back for a young quarterback. Because on the pass at Durham Smythe, it looked kind of like there was a couple guys in the area. How do you calibrate being aggressive with also making good decisions for a quarterback so early in his career?
I think that's a very valid point. I think you want to be aggressive, but you also you want to make smart decisions and not put the team in position where you could potentially turn the ball over or create a negative play. So that's a fine balance. I think every quarterback kind of goes through that thought process. I think a lot of it is based on what defense you're seeing, the players you have on the field, and I think a lot of it is based on how you practice it. I think if you can see those areas of the field where you can create some chunk plays, and you hit them in practice, and you have an opportunity to hit them in a game if you get the same look. So it's something we practice, something we try to put an emphasis on, and then players got to go out there and execute.
If I could just follow up on that real quick, Tua talked about being a miscommunication on that particular throw. Is that something where there's a sight adjustment post snap where they can kind of both read something and make an adjustment based upon the original call?
Which play are you talking about? We might be thinking of two different.
The first interception was when Durham Smythe was in the area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's miscommunication on that one. Unfortunately, and yeah, I mean, I think it's one that Tua wishes he had back. Durham wishes he had back, and I think it's something we got to learn from. Yeah, there's when you look at it that way, there's some other places we could have went with it, but what I liked about most about that was Tua's response, Durham's response, and being able to turn it around and create some positive plays after that mishap.
John Walrow, Associated Press.
Hi, Brian. Thanks for doing this. Just wondering, based on just your history against the Bills or in Miami, is it one thing that seems to go wrong? Can you pinpoint what has been your struggles against the Bills? over the course of this 6-game skid over the past couple of years? Is it one thing? Is there a number of things? And what is your approach to now facing them, this Sunday?
Well, they're a good football team. And they're a balanced football team, offense, defense, special teams. They're well coached. They got good players. When you play a good football team, you have to, or we have to play well on all 3 phases to have success against a good team, or really any team in this league, because every team's good in this league. So, that's really what it boils down to. They got good players, they got good coaches, they execute well, they play well together. And it's always a tough test, especially going up there.
This is the Big O Show. This is the